This episode of the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast is brought to you by the Podcast Reach System. Are you ready to exponentially reach more profitable customers? Launching and hosting your own show is your proven best solution for networking, client attraction, and establishing your celebrity expert brand. Visit www.podcastreachsystem.com and claim your rightful place as the leading star of your industry so you make a difference for your community, market, and audience. Welcome to the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast. Join us as we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who reveal what they are doing to make the world a better place by being part of it. Be sure to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, lean in, tune in, get your notepad and 2 pens ready, and let's get started.
My name is Adam Homey. I am your host, and I am honored by your wise decision to tune in once again and invest in yourself today. The Brilliance Plus Passion Project, which is co-hosted by Princess Alessandra Francesca, who does not like to be held, but will interrupt us throughout the course of our conversation here today, is about featuring folks who make the world a better place by being part of it and by their contributions to it. And today we're speaking with somebody that I've connected with online, and now we're very excited to be able to have a conversation. Her name is Bijal Patel, and she is a branding expert and the creator and founder of Launch, which she's going to tell us about in just a moment. So Bijal, welcome aboard. It's so great to have you here first.
Thanks for having me, Adam. This is so amazing. I'm so excited to be here.
Absolutely. So first of all, how does the work you do make the world a better place for your clients, customers, and the world at large? I get about 7 doses of it a day on Facebook, but for our listeners, tell us.
Yeah, absolutely. So at Launch, what we do is brand strategy plus branding. Now, what does that mean to a normal human being? We package your reputation up so we can set you off into the world so that you are doing your life's purpose in a way that is meaningful and impactful. And so more people can know, like, and trust you. Period.
Yeah. Right. So I'm going to, for a moment, deviate from our usual structure for these. And instead of saying, so, by the way, what it is you do, because you kind of answered that, I want to probe this a different way. Now, your offering is called Launch. And whenever I see the word launch, I think of the product launch formula from Jeff Walker or the live launch formula from Kelly Roach. And at first I thought this is another formula for launching your product or service. But I'm gathering that, is that part of what you do, or is this something different?
No, actually, our company name is Launch.
Yeah.
And the concept of the name Launch came to me when I was still doing commercial interior design.
Yeah.
So it's perfect that it still fits, which is, by the way, designing office spaces and hotels and that kind of thing. But when I pivoted into branding and branding online companies, Launch still worked because we want to launch you and your business to the next level. That's what we're responsible for. So our actual program name is called Brandfluencer. And so we're basically taking your business and making it into a brand so that your brand has the influence and the exact reach, audience, message, avatar, that imprint, that impression that you want to leave out in the world. So it's so funny. I didn't even know what the concept of launching was when I came up with the word launch as our company name. And so far, most people haven't actually mixed this up. And oddly enough, we don't help people with launches. We help people who've been tried and true, who have an established brand or program. We just help dial that up and get them to their next level.
Well, that is a launch to the next level.
Exactly.
So I think it does fit.
Yeah.
So aside from what I've shared with you, what are a couple of the FAQs, the frequently asked questions you get from folks who are going through their process of making a decision to invest in you?
Well, first of all, a lot of times the question I get, and this has really, really been helpful to a lot of people, is when should I invest? And I'm really, really clear. And I like to keep this financial steward part of it. I like to keep that front and center. Because as a small business owner, there's only so much funding and so many resources that can go in a lot of different directions. Okay. So
Right.
there's a small pot. So I recommend to people, as a branding person, please do not worry about your branding unless you are at 20K or more of revenue a month.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah,
20K or more revenue a month. And that doesn't mean you can't get something done quickly or simply, but don't spend too much money and don't spend too much time on it. There's more foundational pieces that need to get done. So that's one of the most popular questions that I get asked, that I'm allowed a platform to give people a real honest answer, so they're not wasting a bunch of money when it doesn't make sense for them.
Well, for my reach system and all of its tentacles, all the logos are squares or rectangles with a unique shade of purple with whatever title or words we're using typed in Poppins extra semi-bold font.
There we go.
I mean, I can make a variation in like 5 minutes. The point is, it's recognizable, and in some of the things in my industry that we indexed, that's really what it looks like. Now, I've seen some of your branding sheets you create for your clients and some of the real level of detail. But yeah, to your point, that stuff doesn't really matter until you're ready to go into a certain audience. There's a brand you need to get recognized, and then eventually you get to the point where you're FedEx and you're having somebody who thinks it's a level of, well, let's make this look like an arrow. So it's like they're flying their package to their destination.
Yep, exactly. So I know you asked for a few, but like that's the crowd favorite, and it really sets people up. And I would also recommend the converse of that. If you're past 20K months, a lot of our clients are at like 30K, 50K, 80K, 100K beyond in terms of revenue a month. You also have to look backward and say, have I outgrown my branding? Have I matured past this, but I stopped looking at it because we're successful? That's a great reason to say, hey, maybe those shoes fit a couple years ago because we were on a startup shoestring budget, but it's time to upgrade our shoes because our message is dialed in, our offer is validated many times over. And now we're really looking to get in front of our exact ideal client. And we want to be known. We want to serve our best and most favorite client. A lot of times it's branding that can take people to their next level when they've become stuck or stymied, or they're still riding that revenue roller coaster. So it works in reverse as well.
Yeah. You know what I've been saying for years is it's worth it about every 3 years to update your brand, sometimes even change the name of your DBA or change the name of your company, because it allows you to do two things. Number one, evolve what you're doing. Chances are that wherever you were, like I started the podcast reach system a year and a half ago. So we may be within a year. I'm already seeing so many changes in the industry that in another year or so, we may recreate that curriculum just to embrace some updated things. And I may create a new tentacle off the reach system mothership that addresses that. And it's the same for your branding, same if you're in copywriting, same if you're in real estate, what have you. And also it's it's just an opportunity to get to reintroduce yourself again. Because if you keep going around to the same networking events, handing out the same business card, eventually you're that person who wants to sell something. But hey, well, there's Bijal, and look, she's got this new thing. What is it?
Yeah.
That's part of it. Now, real quickly, what are a few questions you wish people would ask?
Why does my brand messaging make the difference of if I'm going to make a sale at a higher level and if I'm going to keep a customer for longer so I can have a higher like client retention and a client lifetime value? I wish more people would ask that.
Wow. That is something. And I love the long range, long game approach to that as well. We deal with a lot of our prospects, and I think this is any business is, well, where's my immediate return? I'm going to put in $5,000. Where's my $10,000 tomorrow? I've invested in the same mastermind for 13 years. I've been paying $500 a month to belong to it.
Yeah.
My payoff for investing in that didn't happen for 7 years, but it happened all at once.
Yep.
All that work, attending everything I gained from that mastermind, working with my coach and everything else, it all paid off when he helped me close one deal. that was worth actually about 6 times the total amount of money I'd put into it. That's how it works sometimes.
Absolutely.
Just like you do 100 podcast episodes, and episode 97 is the one where you meet the 6-figure client.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Branding is all about being long-term. Marketing is all about being short-term. And a lot of times people don't know the difference between those two things. And so they go harder and harder on their marketing or their marketing agency. And we have a lot of marketing agencies who are branding clients for a reason. They're not the same thing. And so branding is a long-term game, and you have long-term revenue recognition that comes with it.
All right. Absolutely. So now we get to go to the fun part of this. We're going to shift gears. And this is where we get to know more about you as an individual character. So first of all, what would people who know you be surprised to learn about you?
That I am an avid karaoke singer without having any singing skills and like not being good at it. I really am not good at it, and I love it. Like,
yeah. Okay, my dear friend Benny Mardones, who unfortunately passed a couple years ago. I was at an Armin Morin seminar a couple years after I'd met Benny and become friends with him. And Armin Morin is very well known for having karaoke at his events because he met his wife at a karaoke bar. So he's really into it. Yeah, he even released a country album under a pseudonym using that skill. So people were trying to get me to do karaoke, and I said no. And then finally I said, all right, if there's this one song, if it's on the list, because Into the Night is not on a lot of karaoke lists for some reason, I said, if this one song is on the list, I'll do it. Yeah. Thinking, okay, I dodged a bullet. Well, we get to the Saturday night reception, and one of the people who was trying to egg me on said, Into the Night by Benny Mardones is on the list. It's like, okay, all right, I'll go sign up for it later, thinking I could dodge. Like, oh, you're signed up. You're third on the lineup.
That's
hilarious. So I had 2 people around me, and this is back when I used to drink. I said, okay, you've been on my case about this all day. You are my publicist. Get me a Captain and Coke. Yeah. You booked me. You're my booking agent. Get me a Captain and Coke, because I needed them both. And so I got up there, and I'm thinking, I'm making a big show of myself. I'm thinking, because he tried to hand me the karaoke mic, and I'm thinking, no. Benny does it with a mic stand. When he was on American Bandstand, he insisted on a mic stand. He actually told Dick Clark to get him a mic stand. So bring me the mic stand. I'm like, oh, I'm getting ready to do the thing with my hands and everything. And then I find out when I even had them restart the karaoke track because I wasn't ready. And then I found out that how we think we sound in the shower or the car is not how we actually sound. Yes. It was bad. I had to make a deal with the audience that I would personally release a recording just to get control of it. And that way I put it up on my Facebook for like 3 hours, let people look at it. And then it's still on my Facebook, but I check every so often to make sure the viewing permissions are set to only me.
That's so funny.
Well, within those 3 hours, Benny found out about it. His girlfriend, who's now his wife, saw it, and or was his wife rather, or became his wife, told him about it and said, "You got to see what Adam just did."
Oh my goodness!
And I got an email from him about 20 minutes later, and the way he used to type in all caps, he said, "I saw your video. You got balls, kid." which was his way of saying, "I appreciate the sentiment, but don't fuck with my song."
That's so funny. That's so funny.
So I just told you and everybody else about my entire karaoke career. I will never do it again. All right, so let's get back to you. Let's get back to you here, and this is where we go. This is where we dive a little bit deeper. Is what do you hope people say about you when you're not around to hear it?
That I whooped their ass in order that they could get to their next level of who they really were.
That inspires me. Believe me, it does. So if you could go back in time and change one thing you've done, one thing you've experienced, one thing that's happened, what would it be and why?
Ugh. I mean, we all have like a lot of regret, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm going to give you a general one rather than like a story one, but it's a story that keeps coming up. It's like a recurring nightmare. I really wish I would have stopped talking shit to myself. I wish I would have stopped that. I wish
Okay.
I would have stopped echoing society and the people around and all the fucking bullies I grew up with and all of that kind of stuff. And I wish I wasn't the chief, like, let me rip you apart agent. I wish I
Uh-huh.
would have stopped that, because I think I would have stepped into this Bijal that you're meeting now, what I call her 4.0, because she's 40.
Yep.
I would have stepped into her sooner,
Yeah.
meaning that I could have had more peace and resolution and all of that, but I could have also helped more people and I could have inspired more people if I stopped being my number one biggest enemy.
Well, we're taught to self-deprecate as children. We're and
Mm.
and anytime we show any pride in what we do, it's like, well, who the hell do you think you are?
Yep. Tone it down a
Um,
little bit. Like, oh, you're
uh-huh.
making somebody feel bad because
Uh-huh.
that now you're bragging. Don't brag, but
Oh,
be confident.
yeah, yeah. Be confident, be proud. But then the moment you show a little confidence and pride, don't brag.
Yep. Don't brag. This isn't, you're not seeking praise. Don't seek
Yeah.
praise.
I think what's really great is we're in you and I are of a similar age, and we're really in the first generation that's had access to the resources and
Mhm.
support networks on the scale that we know it. That we see these patterns that got handed down from generation to generation, and we're the
Yeah.
ones that are in the best position to break these cycles for our own next generations to come. I mean, I know you have children. I don't have children yet, but
Yeah.
it may or may not happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, even though I'm not a father yet, I like to do what I can to send the message of what can we do to break these cycles? What can we do to create a new paradigm? And I think that if our generation can solve that thing that you just mentioned, that whole dichotomy between be confident, be proud, but don't brag about it.
Yeah.
We can solve that one. I think we're going to solve a lot of problems.
Yeah. We can at least minimize the imposter syndrome that so
Yeah.
many great, amazing people
Oh,
fight, even though, and that's why
yeah.
I fight for the branding. I
Yeah.
fight to bring that hero out of you. And I will, I mean, I am a worthy opponent. I will whoop your butt in honor of what you told me was your big mission, what is your big vision, and who you're meant to be. I will hold you honest to that. And I think it comes from that. I'm tired of seeing people online who are absolutely brilliant, and like back to your podcast, brilliant and passionate. I hate to see people like that who are experts, who should be dominating their field, not doing it because that imposter sits on their shoulder and is louder than their own inner gut, like
Mhm.
self-worth and self-confidence is.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So, what famous person, alive or dead, would you like to meet? And if so, what question would you have for them?
Mm. There's like so many people that I'd want to. I feel like this is my most recent one, so I'll just share it. I will have a question for everyone at all times, even if you're not famous. So like I'm just a question asker. But I would like to meet Harriet Tubman.
Okay.
And I would like to look this like brave woman in the face and say, how did you keep doing it? How did you keep doing it in the moments when you doubted yourself and you were alone and you thought that no one had your back and it wasn't going to work
Mhm.
out because you don't know how the story ended? What did you tap into in yourself to do what you did here?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I hear you. I hear
that's
you.
what I want to know. And
Yeah.
I've been thinking about her recently because I'm like, if Harriet Tubman could free over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of family out of slavery when that wasn't, you weren't allowed to do that. You weren't the norm. You got shot, you got killed, you got tortured, horrible things
Mhm.
happened to you. If she can do that, you're telling me I can't film a reel because I'm uncomfortable and a little bit afraid of filming a reel? You're telling me I can't make a module for my course because I've never done it before? You're telling me I can't put myself and my own new podcast out there? You're telling me that I can't put a new offer out to market because I'm unsure of how it ends? It's just, that's what I
Yeah.
think.
Well, as I said, if we can solve imposter syndrome, if we can solve that one little thing. So, in general, what keeps you going when you're having a tough time or facing a challenge?
People like you,
Oh,
you,
well, thank you.
you like People like you, people that are out there putting themselves out there, are getting some limelight, getting some success, are getting noted, and they need help. They've taken up the first flight of stairs, maybe the second flight of stairs, but they've hit the second landing. I just want to help that person get to the next flight of stairs up. That person.
Absolutely. So finally, and I know you have an invitation for our audience. I'm going to share that on your behalf.
Yeah.
But in general, when folks finish this live stream in a moment or so, after they take up your invitation, what is one action you would urge them to take?
Put yourself out there more. Use what I call your empowered voice and put yourself out there for something that you want to stand for. What do you want to be known for? What do you want to be remembered as? And don't wait for you to die and hope someone eulogizes you with that. Go ahead and do it today. Post something, just one thing, just post one thing that you wouldn't normally post, that you feel like is your empowered self and voice coming out there, that you want to stand by, that you want to help other people with and through your message.
All right. So we are at that point where I have an invitation. Bijal, you have an invitation for our audience. I'm going to share it right now. It is, if you go to WeLaunch.design. That's the website, WeLaunch.design, not .com, .design /trainings. And what you're going to find there, and I'm not going to go through them in too much detail because I want this to remain evergreen, and I know that more may be added as you develop more stuff. But this is essentially a place where you have a collection of masterclasses, laser-targeted masterclasses that people can sign up for and download right away. I think it's immediately, and you can learn various things about branding, competitive analysis, how to create. One of the things I see here is how to create an offer stack, which I think is really good. And then what I'm going to point out, because I think it's going to be around for a while, and this is something that I think is going to resonate with the introverts among us, is the no sales call.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yep. So I'll say this again. It's at WeLaunch.design /trainings. And with that, Bijal, thank you so much for being with us today. It's been an honor, and believe me, in education.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for tuning into the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast, where we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who are making a difference for their community, market, and audience. Remember to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast.